Testing, testing. We are going to be starting our show in 2 minutes. Please be seated. The show will soon commence. Okay. I've been given the thumbs up. We can begin the 2025 President's Innovation Challenge. Give all of our participants a round of applause, please. We have whittled down, and Dr. Kate Corrigan will talk about that here in just a moment. My name is Bo Bernhard. I'm Interim Vice President of the UNLV Foundation and our Alumni and Philanthropy Group. I am so proud to get to introduce to you some really smart rebels. But I want to start a little bit with a Genesis story that starts out here in this gorgeous vista, in this beautiful strip view pavilion. What's amazing about that street is that it attracts more tourists than any other single plot of earth on Earth. And as you can see from here, it's not like there's a coastline there, right? It's not like there's a gorgeous mountain range or natural formation of a canyon, which means that everything that draws more people on planet Earth to that piece of Earth was invented and innovated in the mind of Las Vegans, just like the ones you're about to meet. This is the spirit of today's President's Innovation Challenge. And today's particular challenge, which Dr. Corrigan will tell you about in just a moment, starts at UNLV a few years back. And I'll share a Genesis story that started in a classroom that I was teaching that really tipped us off to an entirely new chapter of sports and entertainment combined here in Southern Nevada in a way that never had been before. So I was teaching at the International Gaming Institute about 500 yards from here to a group of executives who all wanted to be CEOs of the big shiny buildings and the big companies in Las Vegas. It's called executive education. It's another thing that we do here at UNLV. We teach not only our students, we teach the world. And so in the audience was a whole bunch of people who want to be Lori when they grow up, who want to be Nikki when they grow up, who want to be CEOs, who are mid-career executives. And if you want to be good at leading in Las Vegas, especially with some of the stigmas that we've faced with our primary industry, you have to be good not only at the walls inward part of the leadership, you have to be really good at the walls outward part. You have to be really good not just at the stuff that David Cardenas teaches in our hotel school, where you have to run a big building and all that happens inside of that building. With our buildings, for a long time, there was real concern that they would hurt the community if you dropped them into various communities. And I would always say to classes like this one, this is why you have an extra difficult job if you want to be a CEO in this industry, is because you need to be good not just at the walls inward stuff, you need to be good at the walls outward stuff. For instance, did you know, and many of you probably know this now, but back then folks weren't quite aware, that the Super Bowl had said no to our offer for years to run the What Happens Here Stays Here advertising campaigns, because the NFL had a strict what part of no don't you understand? You cannot touch Las Vegas. You cannot touch it. The gaming is bad. The Las Vegas is bad. And again, when you're a teacher, you use that stuff, right? And so introducing that to our group of future leaders of Las Vegas was something that we wanted to super emphasize, right? This is not an industry that is always very well received. But what we said on that day was the NFL doesn't know a lot about this community. And here at UNLV, we have tons of researchers that have done really good work on what a special community this is. And during the first break, a giant human being walked up. And he said, I really enjoyed that conversation on the NFL. My name is Napoleon, which is an ironic name for a humongous dude, right? Napoleon was a little guy. Napoleon McCallum was a star running back for our beloved Raiders, and also an executive at Las Vegas Sands for many, many years. And he said, I have to tell you a story. Every year I go back to the Raiders alumni weekend, and I tell Mark Davis, you gotta look into Las Vegas, man. You got to look into this place where I've raised my 4 daughters. It's actually a brilliant community. And he said, well, I got to tell you, we do bring that up with the NFL. And every time we do, they say, no, 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 no. What part of no don't you understand? We have very strict rules on this. And then Napoleon said something in a classroom right down the road here that changed everything. He said, do you want to meet Mark Davis? Do you think we could bring the Raiders to UNLV? And I said, sure, thinking, now, that's something that's never going to happen, right? Here's a list of things. This is 2016, right? This is a totally different era. Sure enough, though, a few weeks later, he brings Mark Davis. UNLV police surround our building to make sure that nobody even finds out about a meeting that stayed secret for 2 years. And Mark Davis and Larry Delson, who still, of course, lead this fine franchise, walked into our offices and said, okay, lay this out. Talk to us about the arguments for Las Vegas. And I said, that we can do. We have all these sociologists and brilliant researchers here that have done all this great work on what this community really is. And here are all the fears that the NFL has, but here's what the data says. And he said, can you put that in a big research report? And I said, sir, that is literally what we do at the university. That is literally something that we do every single day. And then he asked an interesting question. He said, do you like steak? And I said, yeah, sure, but why, right? Like what? When? He said, because here's the math. You need 24 out of the 32 teams to vote yes in the NFL to move a team from one city to another. You need a 3/4 majority vote. We're going to need to eat at least 23 steaks because there's a lot of steak dinner types amongst the ownership. Because you got one, you have us. We reserved LasVegasRaiders.com in 1999. But we need to convince a whole lot of other owners of Las Vegas's worth as a community worthy of hosting this team. So you're going to be going to a lot of steak dinners. So fast forward to the end here. We're at the Biltmore Hotel in Scottsdale at the NFL owners meeting in March of 2017. It's not ancient history, right? This is not too long ago. And of course, they kick us out, and then the grown-ups are inside the room. And as I'm walking out into the hot Phoenix sun, I get the text from inside, and it says, yes, 31, no, 1. The Las Vegas Raiders have been voted into existence. Now, here's what's magical about that story. It starts as a teaching story in a university classroom. That's one of the things we do really, really well. We teach the world about all sorts of things. But then it turns into a research story, which is the other thing that we do really, really well as universities, right? We do research and discovery and innovations on what's going on out there in the world. And then when we're doing it right, we come back and it turns into a teaching story again, where we did a lot of teaching over a lot of steak dinners, a lot of teaching of the world. And that cycle of teaching and researching and then bringing that back into the classroom, that's why you want to have a powerhouse Research One university in your backyard. That is the magic of the classroom. That ultimately was the magic of Las Vegas. And the genesis of today started in that exact space 500 meters from now. It feels like 500 years now. So what we're going to do today is we're going to cover a very specific challenge that looks at exactly this. What are the community impacts? So take it away, Kate. Why don't you
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for that, Bo. We're so glad you've been able to join us today for our 4th annual President's Innovation Challenge. Now, this may seem like an event, and it is, but you should know that this is an event that is the culmination of almost a full academic year of engagement on the part of our students, right? And the students raised their hand and signed up last fall because we posed this challenge, and they said, I want to be part of it. So this year's challenge, we have a different question every year. This year, we're focusing on sports. And so the question is, how can professional sports in Las Vegas be leveraged, right, to foster economic diversity, address social issues, and enhance community engagement, right? We are no longer just the entertainment capital of the world. We are the sports capital of the world. And as a top-tier research university, it makes a lot of sense for us to ask our amazing students, not just from one department, not just from 2 departments, but from every department around campus to come forward, build interdisciplinary teams, and tackle this challenge. And so tonight, what you're going to see are the finalists, the last 6 teams to compete. Now, I wanted to share a little bit about these teams. So you should know that this year we had 131 students, the largest group ever, raise their hand and join the challenge last fall. They formed 30 multidisciplinary teams, and those teams have been working since last November. Those teams competed in a mid-year competition, and we took those 30 teams down to the 6 finalists that you're going to hear from and see tonight. And these are our 6 finalist teams. Now, these teams don't come to you tonight unprepared. These teams have been trained all year. So they've participated in innovation workshops about how to ask research questions that can be commercialized and innovate in a particular area or field. They've learned about business. They've learned about patenting and innovation. They've met with owners and managers of sports teams here in Las Vegas to get background information. So they really hit the ground running last fall and have had an amazing experience ever since. So these 6 teams are here to compete tonight. And they're competing for big prizes because these 6 teams, they don't want to just win tonight. They want to go on and take their big, innovative ideas and make them a reality. And if they do so successfully, it's a game changer, not just for them and their career paths, but for Las Vegas, right? So each of the teams are competing in one of these 4 areas, and the winner of each of these 4 areas, that team will get $25,000 in scholarships and support to take their idea and move it forward. So none of this is possible without a whole lot of people in this room. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge our judges. We have an amazing array of judges from all over campus and the community. Please give a wave when I call your name. Nikki Fargas, president of Las Vegas Aces, the winning Aces, all right. Lori Nelson-Kraft, our senior vice president from Formula One. Ron Nicoli, chief marketing officer from Resorts World. Piper Overstreet White, Senior Vice President of Government and Community Relations for none other than the Raiders. All right. We have Nevada System of Higher Education Regent, Heather Brown. Dr. Chris Heavey, my friend and colleague and our officer in charge here at UNLV. We have Dean David Cardenas, who is the Dean of the UNLV Hospitality College, William F. Harrah College of Hospitality. And we have 2 very important student leaders with us tonight. We have Alistair Dias, who's the president of CSUN, our student government for undergraduates, and Teresa Marie, who is about to be Dr. Teresa Marie, who is the president of our Graduate Student Association. So thank you all for being here. Each team will compete. We'll have a bit of a question and answer after they do so with our judges. The judges will score, and at the end we'll tally and identify the winners, and we have some pretty big checks to give out down there, so it should be a fun competition. So again, couldn't have done this, especially the big checks and the lovely event, without our sponsors. So a big thank you to our community sponsors, who you see here, as well as our campus sponsors. All right, now I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Robert Rippey, the Executive Director of Blackfire Innovation, and he will take it away from here.
Thank you, Kate, and welcome to everyone. It's great to see everyone. This is our 4th annual competition, as Kate and Bo said, and I'm very excited. I've been a big part of this since the very beginning, and the ideas that you're about to see are nothing short of amazing. These are terrific ideas, very well thought out, very well researched, and will be presented to you. I can tell you the judges will have a tough time picking the winning teams. The competition goes like this. The team will come up here and will pitch using aids on the screen. They have 8 minutes to pitch their idea. At the end of the presentation, there's about 3 minutes that will open up for a few questions from the judges. That typically allows for 2 to 3 questions. So once we're done with all 6 teams, then we'll score the judges, and then we'll make the announcements tonight. So with that, I'd like to invite Break Room Bears to come on up. We'll start and get ready with our first team. Kate, do you have the remote? Do you have the remote control? Oh. There you go. You good? It's all yours.
Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone is having a phenomenal day. Today, I wanted to propose an innovation of the near future, but before we get into what that is, let's get into who we are. My name is Nima Motamedi. I'm a first-year student studying psychology, and in my free time, I love getting to know people. That's where I met my best friend.
Thank you, Nima. My name's Cole Fisher. I'm a first year studying finance at UNLV, and that's where I met the glue to our group here.
Hi, my name's Anna Uranosian. I'm a first year economics student here, and my question is, what are we solving today, Nima?
I just want to make sure you guys have it fresh in your heads before we continue. We're essentially trying to use sports here in Vegas to address social issues, increase community engagement, and even improve economic diversity. Now, we couldn't answer this question without doing some research. But before I hop into the numbers, I want to give a personal anecdote of mine. I was raised without a father, and because of that, I really missed out on playing sports as a kid. Those opportunities affect me now as I'm playing catch-up with all my friends, and it's just not as fun to participate. Now, this brings me into my first statistic. 158,000 people have moved from California here recently. Why this matters is that cultural integration, that slew of new people is going to bring the same opportunity discrepancies I faced, people who share the same story. And I believe that can even contribute to the obesity crisis that has plagued the world. Now, could there be a solution?
Introducing Sports Hub, a place where you can socialize and connect all through sports. Now, Anna, you're our interior designer. Do you want to go into the details about this?
Of course. So when you open up the app, you are greeted with the homepage, which is just a brief summary of all the other features of the app. You also have our point system, which is just like any other point system. However, the idea behind this is to increase sports-related activities within the users of the app. Now, Cole, will you dive into the news feature?
Yeah, of course. So our news feature is going to be a social media platform, but for sports. Now, doing research, we found that a lot of people wanted to see both little and bigger events. And so we ensure you're going to see your son's Little League soccer game in addition to a Raiders game. Now, Nima, sorry. So we also found that through higher awareness, there's going to be a higher attendance in sports. And this is going to increase the economy because a lot of jobs are going to be created to deal with the higher influx of customers coming from this higher attendance.
And honestly, Cole, that makes sense. But a big problem I have is knowing what's going on, when, and where. Who cares if I'm thinking about sports if I don't know where to participate?
Can I pitch in?
Yeah?
Well, that's exactly why we have our community engagement calendar. Essentially, it's a neighborhood bulletin board that gives you all the big and little league games happening in your local area, and that is just the free version of the app. Now, with the paid version of the app, you're able to advertise games that you're hosting and sign up to participate. But who cares if you know where these games are being hosted if you don't know how to play?
Yeah, I think a lot of people can see where you're coming from, Anna. I mean, doing further research, we found that 50% of people can only describe one sport in full confidence. And this is going back to the opportunity discrepancies that Nima was talking about earlier, and in turn is part of the obesity epidemic in which 1 in 3 Nevadans are currently suffering from. Nima, do you have any idea how we could solve this?
Yeah, I actually do, guys. So it's a how-to feature. I'm sure someone's tried to sell you a course before, but trust me, this is nowhere near as expensive as those. It's essentially a curated step-by-step course on the ins and outs of sports on or off the field. Now, our free version, you'll have 1 video a day on a 24-hour cooldown. The paid version gives you unlimited access to the plethora of knowledge we want to provide. Now, this is also, Anna, can you dive into how we're going to monetize our product? Because we are a for-profit company.
Of course. Let me introduce you to the bakery. So Sports Hub has a premium feature, Sports Hub Premium. It's just $5.99 a month and gives you a variety of features. First of all, we have the ad-free news access. We have a special prize pool, but more importantly, when Nima mentioned the how-to feature, with the educational video in the free version, you are only given 1. But with the paid feature, you're given the entire course for whatever sport you are interested in at the moment. And like I mentioned in the community engagement calendar, you are given the ability to sign up and participate and advertise games. And additionally, we have the sports betting feature that we want to implement as we expand. Now, Cole, has this been done before?
In a way, I mean, we have apps like Nextdoor that are community engagement, but they lack mass activity coordination. And then there's group calendars, but they're not to the scale of entire communities. The how-to feature, that's our own innovation. Instead of having to scavenge through the internet to find something for sports, you have our streamlined information that's personalized towards you and your skill level. Now, all these 3 things together, it's a one-stop shop for you to get anything you need about sports. Now, Nima, can you help us with the timeline?
Yeah, to kind of put things into perspective for you guys, we start when we started drafting up our idea back in October, and then now here in April, when we get that generous investment, we'll immediately begin app development. We assume this is going to take till about the end of the year, and as soon as the new year comes, it's just going to be marketing and expanding from then on. Now, Cole, can you dive into our budget, please?
So yeah, our budget, as you can see here, is going to be roughly $12,000 in order to fully develop. Now, that leaves us around $13K in order to market and increase the size of the company. Anna, do you want to dive into the marketing for us?
Yes. So for our marketing, we are going to be working with platforms such as Google AdMobs, Vibe.co, and social media marketing on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest ads. We're also going to be working with lower division influencers to keep our marketing costs relatively low. This comes out to $5,000 monthly. Sounds like a lot, but Nima found something very interesting.
So I was crunching some numbers, and at our price range, I found out we'd only need 750 monthly active users to break even on our marketing costs. Now, this seems like a hefty number, but looking at how many people attended Allegiant Stadium alone the last couple years ago, that's a $3.6 million $3.6 million. Guys, I'm sorry. Anyways, with this demographic, we'd only need 0.028% to break even. Just a little bit more, and we're profiting. And to maintain our app, we already had to communicate and delegate so much to make this idea come true, and we are not going to slow down into making this innovation become a reality. We're the Break Room Bears. Thank you so much, and have an excellent day. Also, any questions, let us know. Hi.
Great job. Thank you so much. The question that I have is, Sting on. All right. Thank you so much. The question that I have is, you mentioned research, and then you mentioned how playing sports helps increase attendance. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so essentially our idea behind it is if you're in the mindset of something, if something's in your head, you're more likely to do it. You get an ad to go to Subway odds are you're going to start thinking about Subway. You're probably going to want to eat Subway. Similar concept here. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes, thank you.
I echo Piper. Great job, you guys. Can you help us to understand, connect the dots to the obesity issue and weight loss associated, connect those dots of how your platform will address that?
So essentially how we looked at it is if you don't know how to do something, you're not going to do it. So if you're not playing sports, odds are you're not going to participate in them. Less physical activity is obviously going to contribute to that same crisis. Now, with people in the mindset of sports, more physical activity, and thus we're going to combat that global issue.
Thank you.
I just wanted to put a disclaimer. We're not saying that through sports alone is going to fight the obesity epidemic, but we are going to help it. Our job and our goal is to help people because that's what we really want to do at the end of the day.
Hi, guys. Sorry, I lost my voice, but I'm still here. I'm ready. And you guys did so amazing. I loved the banter back and forth. It was very entertaining to watch. So you have a lot of components to this. It's really hard when a company wants to be all things to everyone all at once. What's your rollout strategy? Which of those are you going to tackle first?
Honestly, the biggest one, I think, is the community calendar. I really think people don't know what's going on and where. So if we can make a community bulletin available to everyone as soon as possible, that would be it. And on top of that, it's going to allow for people that paid for the app to advertise their own games, which is more profit for the people as well.
Can you, real quick, follow up? Where are you going to get these events from? How are you going to scrape them?
That's kind of where the community part of it comes in. So people are going to post their own games, like pickup games. If a couple of your neighborhood friends want to go to the local park because they're playing basketball at a certain time, now everyone in the neighborhood can know instead of just friends of that friend, if that kind of makes
sense. And to add on, that was the paid feature of the app, being able to host and advertise games, like Little League games. That was the entire idea behind that, to get more people to become a community, because we've noticed that within Las Vegas, there's such a lack of community. And like in the research, we explained that there's a lot of new people coming into Las Vegas. There's already people in Las Vegas that just lack that neighborhood. So that's kind of, we want to really implement community engagement. Thank you.
Yeah, I love the banter between all three of you. Like, I thought there was a great presentation of synergy, the way you guys worked off each other, which I thought was great. I love the idea because I do think the centralization of information when it comes to sports. I find myself to be someone who continually is seeking information, and I love that it is sports community-centric, all levels, right? So you went from Little League, also touching on the major sports. The one thing I wanted to bring up, I wanted to ask, you go into a paid user dynamic, right? So the $5.99. Acquisition sometimes is very difficult for apps when they start out. Would you maintain that, or do you look at a model maybe where there's advertising components to the app and it maintains a free component?
So yeah, our original plan is to have it when it's free, there's going to be ads on the app, right? That's going to help monetize us. But the main goal is for the subscription. That way we can make sure that we're constantly getting an inflow of money. And as you've seen, it's a really small percentage of people within the market. But yeah, to answer your question, we will have ads.
And to kind of chip in, I don't know if you saw it, the words were kind of small. The first ever month when you install the app is free. So essentially we're trying to get users to see why they'd spend their money on this. And I guarantee you that 1 month is all they're going to need.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Break Room Bears.
Thank you.
So if the judges would take a minute or two and complete the, switch over to next team. Next team is Get the Bag. Complete the scoring form. And team Get the Bag can move up to the stage.
Please join us in welcoming Team Get the Bag.
Welcome, everybody. I hope that everybody's having a good evening tonight. We are Team Get the Bag, and we'll be presenting over professional sports in Las Vegas. My name is Linda Carrera. I'm a hospitality and honors senior. Our missing team member is Hazel Dieguez. She's a business administration junior, and my partner here is...
I'm Awani Akbar, and I'm a hospitality and film senior. So in fall of 2022, I ended up moving here from Dallas, Texas. We all know Texas is football country. From the legendary tailgates, shutting down the streets, parades, the lights, the cheerleading, the music, it's a place where everybody can come together for a few hours just for the love of the game.
And with that, we want to bring that Texas community and create it into the Las Vegas community, bridging that gap between the Las Vegas people and these professional sports that are coming in.
So it starts with this problem. With professional sports increasing in Las Vegas, how can they address social issues, foster economic diversity, increase community engagement, all while creating more inclusive, supportive, and a vibrant local society? Our solution to this problem would be our app, LV Sports.
Starting, we wanted to address some community aspects. We wanted to expand the fan base for these sports, create more events and incentives to attend these events. We want to create a long-term view on the community effects, not only what we can do now, but in the long run. We want to focus on local talent that we see here in Las Vegas. We also want to raise social awareness on the issues that are happening in our community. We want to grow new opportunities for folks that live here and create that city identity that we talked about.
So moving on to economic diversity. As we know, Las Vegas is very known for their hospitality. So that bringing in sports would diversify that market, expanding local employment and fields along with college partnerships. It would also bring in expansion of construction along with real estate development and the possibility of public transportation. And then, of course, it would increase spending because if people are coming from the games, they're going to need a place to stay. They're going to need to eat. Then they're going to might want to do entertainment before the game or maybe after.
So with that, returning to our app, this is the app homepage that we'll have. We will include both professional, minor league, and college teams. So this is our dashboard, beginning with the first tile, which are going to be the challenge tile.
So give it your best shot. Weekly challenges will be posted where locals can compete to win merch, tickets, and other fan favorites. Then it's their stories.
Have you ever wondered how an athlete started in their career? You can watch it on our app. In their origin stories, you can select an athlete that you want to learn more about. They're going to share their story, and then they're going to share a charity that they support or an organization that they want to promote, giving you, the viewer, the opportunity to donate to that charity.
Then comes the highlights. So play it again. Say you missed the game last night. Well, we got all your highlights in one place here. Swipe down on the bottom, and you're not going to miss a thing. Then lastly, connection.
With the connections, we want you to join in on the fun, creating an event calendar, classes, and a mentorship program. Starting out with the events calendars, we'll have two event calendars, starting with the sports events. Want to know the schedule of your favorite team? You can find it here. You want pop-up events that your team's going to have? Here it is. And any pre-game events like tailgating, we'll let you know.
And then for our second calendar is going to be the community events. This one will stem from volunteering, field days, and other community events where the teams will be involved.
If you're anything like me and you sometimes forget the sports rules, you can join us on learning directly from the experts about any team rules that you may have missed from any of the coaches, athletes, or any of the coaches. Then, moving on to our mentorship program, we want to connect the local folk here in Las Vegas with careers that we can find in these professional sports. Let's say if you've ever wondered how an athlete got there, you can meet one-on-one with an athlete that's on our app. We can meet with coaches and see how their career started as a coach.
And then adding on to that, as hospitality students, we are often spoiled. We get offered opportunities sent to us weekly. This would extend to other colleges, such as journalism, communications, business, and even sports medicine. Then moving on to our budget, our app development is looking around 50 to 90K since it needs to be a cross-platform between iOS and Android. That would consist of, along with the platform development as well. Maintenance would look at about 15% of that development cost.
While the business licensing will cost $200 a year plus a $45 fee for the application, and we want to take for marketing 40% of that app development budget, bringing our total to that range on the bottom of our screen.
So with this, we did say that we're going to pour a lot into marketing, but this would also be for revenue. How would we get the bag? Now, we would do a lot of social media outreach, so working with partners such as the Brunch Boys, Vegas Girls, Girls Night Out, and other small influencers, making partnerships with different teams, doing ads on billboards, or that really nice screen on the side of Resorts World.
We are also going to depend on that word of mouth. If you, as an app user, love our app, we want to have you talk to your family and friends about how much you love this app and share it.
Then for the legality issue. So no one wants to get sued, so we'd be sure to look at the data protection laws, security standards, along with following the App Store guidelines, sport team agreements, so being able to use their logos, talk about their players, letting their players be on our platform, and then also the accessibility regulations.
Moving on to the viability of our app, we want to create an increase in sports interest depending on the range of sports that we have. We want to increase that fan engagement in those events. We also are the only app that has this idea of bridging this community and sports aspect. So we want to increase that community engagement with our sports. Developing an app prototype would be essential as well to be able to see how it fully functions as an app and be able to test it out with the locals since we're focused on having that community use this app.
So, in conclusion, our app is going to bridge sports and community, creating a sense of unity between transplants and native Las Vegans. So,
we want to thank you for your time, and we're open for any questions that you may have now.
Thank you.
So it's always great to have hospitality students up here. You guys did a great job. Thanks so much. A key aspect of this to be successful is going to be buy-in from the teams. How are you going to sell it to them? What's the benefit for the organizations to be a part of your app?
Yeah, so there's a lot of negative connotation with a lot of teams coming here, especially within like the Las Vegas community with locals. So having them buy into that and giving back to the community would show that they're not just here to make a couple dollars.
All right, great presentation, guys. I just had one really quick question. You mentioned that there's a mentorship pipeline that exists between, prospective athletes and professionals in their, respective fields. Obviously for people in the professional space, they're going to have a lot of time constraints, a lot of other commitments. What kind of strategy do you guys have to kind of increase the amount of professionals who'd be willing to serve as mentors as part of this service?
We're looking for professionals, like if we're taking it to the aspect of athletes, any retired athletes that may have more of the time to donate. We're also looking at professionals that simply might want to help students or folks that are in the mentorship program want to take that motivational step of wanting to help out.
Great presentation. I do believe it's much needed. My question, though, when you think about community, I know we face this a lot, but how can this community also serve the underserved communities? How can this app also promote the mental and physical well-being? Because I know a lot of the athletes that we women athletes in particular, we're very outspoken about a lot of things, and mental health has been on the forefront. So when you're thinking about connecting the communities, how would you continue to show those supports to those entities?
So for the community aspect, this is why we want to bring in people in that events calendar, because we want to organize events where, let's say, we have those female athletes come in and have a conversation with community members that sign up to come and have, let's say, a presentation similar to this, where we're getting that information out and we're getting shared experiences or stories out there.
Really, really well done. Love the concept. A two-parter. One, to clarify, did you guys address revenue, what your revenue model was in the presentation?
Yeah, so we're hoping to just do it based off of marketing, like really heavy marketing, and then the partnerships with the teams as well. So they would pay to be a part of this program.
A revenue stream, great. And then addressing, you kind of talked about game and team highlights from a media rights perspective. That's kind of tightly held space. Did that get contemplated into your expenses, or how do you plan on integrating that in and gaining permission for that?
Yeah, so we're hoping that would kind of go along with the partnerships, and that they can end up maybe teaming up with some of the colleges to get into their journalism classes and stuff like that, to have those kids come out. And then on top of that, maybe partnering up with one of the AV people that are there as well.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Very well done. So our next team is Next Horizon. So we'll do our swap. Yes, you have 2 minutes. Go ahead and work on your scores. It's all yours.
Good afternoon, all. We are Team Next Horizon, and our team consists of a very diverse academic background, starting with
Miriam in psychology,
Martin in biochemistry,
Melanie in geology,
Kirsten in biology,
Riley in computer science,
and myself, Ariana, in kinesiology. And a special thank you to Mike Fauner, our mentor, for all of his help. Before we begin, let me ask you all a question. What do we think of when we think of Las Vegas? Is it the bright lights, casinos, nightlife, food? These are all great things to think about, but how many of you thought about the health disparities that people face in Southern Nevada in low socioeconomic areas? We created a solution to this problem, which is Sip City. Sip City is more than just a convenient health drink with multiple health benefits. We aren't here to talk about a business plan for Sip City, but we are here to talk about a movement that will help all our neighbors in low socioeconomic areas in Las Vegas. With the rise in popularity in sports teams and the new arenas being built in Southern Nevada, not only will the collaboration with sports teams help ensure that Sip City is accessible to all, but that also sports teams are getting more loyalty, love, and passion is growing for sports as well.
So before we continue, please look to your side. You'll find our first official prototype of Sip City. Please shake well and enjoy. Unlike other companies such as Gatorade and Powerade, which have artificial flavors, added sugars, and artificial dyes, our product is all natural, made from raw ingredients. On a focus group conducted on UNLV students, staff, friends, family, and sports officials, we found that 48% prefer the mango spice, while the other 52% prefer the pine palm splash.
On average, a liter of plastic bottled water contains about 240,000 tiny pieces of plastic, which you end up consuming. But not with Sip City. When it came to our packaging, sustainability was the first thing that we had in mind. We chose to package our products in our sleek aluminum packaging, which is known to maintain its quality with each recycle, unlike plastic. By recycling our aluminum bottles, we also only end up using 5% of total energy used in aluminum mining. Our bottles will also be lined with food-safe material, which is known to prevent chemical and metal leaching, which plastic bottles are known to do. They're known to leach BPA into your waters, a known hormone disruptor. But not only will our products be sustainable for the environment, it'll be sustainable for our local economies as well, with plans to locally manufacture in the city and grow our economy from the ground up. Local manufacturing will overall reduce our carbon footprint.
To integrate our movement into our community's daily lives even further, we also created Sip City's very own mobile app. Our app not only aligns with industry standards, but also enhances customer experience, since apps are becoming the common way that customers engage with food and beverage companies. To view the app on your very own phone, simply scan the QR code that you see on any of Sip City's bottles and tap through the pages. After logging in or signing up, you'll be able to choose the theme of the app based on your favorite Las Vegas professional sports team. From there, you'll be able to read up on Sip City's natural flavors and sustainable materials, as well as participate in various health challenges where you'll be able to earn and redeem points for your favorite team's merchandise. Most importantly, our app will serve as a platform to amplify our #1 main cause, serving Title I schools in Clark County School District. Our app will have a direct way for users to donate to each school, and each school will also have a customizable profile where you'll be able to set their unique health and wellness needs. In the future, we plan to expand the app even more, and with that requires a greater workforce. That's why we plan to collaborate with the UNLV Computer Science Department through the Startup and Step Up internship program to gain input from 6 to 10 UNLV CS students every semester and give back to UNLV.
To introduce our product into the community, we first intend to begin this process by visiting farmers markets and offering samples of our product, as well as having our product out for the public to see. We then look to foster professional collaborations with nonprofit organizations that host fitness events such as walks or runs to promote their own spreading awareness of certain health conditions. Our main focus will be on Title I schools and their after-school All-Stars program. ASAS is a nonprofit offering programs for low-income students to foster their enrichment. And we hope to expand on these same values by hosting events or visiting during sporting events and offering our drinks for students. And another way that we could go by this is by implementing professional sports teams through white labeling. So white labeling is a way for Sip City to be rebranded and redistributed under a sports team's name. And in this way, sports officials or sports athletes may come in during these events and host talks with students to encourage them about their education as well as their overall wellness.
So for our budget, there was a few factors that we had to consider that directly involved the production of our drink. For example, the ingredients, which for Pine Palm Splash, each drink would cost 67 cents for the ingredients and 72 cents for the mango spice. And then for the total cost of the production of these drinks will be $2.15 for Pine Palm and $2.20 for mango spice. Now from here, there are two options we could consider. First, we sell the drinks ourselves, where we come up with a reasonable retail price that can not only cover our current expenses, but also future expenses that don't directly involve the production of our drinks. Now, the second option is where we could do white labeling. This is where some of you guys can come into play as our fellow sports teams representatives. This is where you can buy our drinks, sell it as your own, and do whatever you want with them. This is how we can not only promote our drink, but also spread awareness about the health concerns in Southern Nevada. Now, a few of our goals after this competition include, obviously, winning PIC, and then after 3 months, we will be promoting our drink at a smaller scale, and then after about 6 months, we will have the full launch of our Sip City app. After 9 months, we'll be producing a smaller quantity, but enough to market ourselves, and then after a year, we will partner up with Title I schools and integrate ourselves into local markets. And then after 2 years, we will be beginning wholesale manufacturing, and you will hopefully see our drinks on major stores' shelves. Now, there are other electrolyte companies that could be cheaper, but
Your health is priceless.
Great job. Thank you very much. What was the percentage of people who preferred the Pine Palm Splash?
52.
Okay, count me in. So I don't really have a question. I have more of a compliment. I think that given that the market is very saturated with hydration drinks, I think it was smart to differentiate yourself with a sustainability piece, as well as taking into consideration how you can help underserved communities with the Title I school support. So good job.
Thank you.
Really innovative, and I'm very much into cause marketing of have product benefit the community. I saw the piece where you as the app user can donate to charity. Is there a portion of your product that you will also be donating to charities, or is it just strictly through the user experience?
We are currently developing our future market plans. One of the plans that we implemented is that maybe in the future, once we gain popularity, that maybe about for every 500 users that donate to each school, that will also match their donation and even add to that. So that's one of our future plans for that.
In the hydration industry, obviously you've got Gatorade, you got Powerade. What is your strategy to build this awareness where you are a legit contender against those types of brands? Like, is that going to be utilizing athletes, celebrities? Like, what makes you credible in that regard?
Absolutely. So the part we were mentioned, we would partner up with Title I schools. We can also discuss partnerships with the sports teams in Southern Nevada. So we can have athletes present at these schools, right? Not only present our drink, but also let them know about the health concerns in Southern Nevada. Some of the kids may not be able to understand, like for example, in elementary school, they may not be fully aware of these health concerns, but their parents would be, right? And me personally, if I was a kid in elementary school and someone like, I don't know, Carter Bradley or Mark Stone or Lewis Hamilton, or yeah, if people like that showed up to my school presenting this product, I'd be sold like that.
I just want to commend you guys. Figma is a really great platform to build this app from, so good job on that. I'm reading through it, though. It's the earn rewards, and you guys did talk about points. It's kind of a twofold question here. What's to stop someone from just scanning the same bottle over and over and over to rack up points? And then what do they use the points for? Because I'm reading on your app, it says scan your drink, hit your hydration goals, and unlock exclusive perks by completing fitness and sustainable challenges.
Yeah, we considered that when we were discussing the purpose of the QR code that you see on each of the Sip Cities bottles. So we discussed that the QR code would directly take you to the app as well as take you to different challenges. While not scanning each QR code doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get points for just buying that bottle. We may implement future technology where the QR code is linked to some sort of purchase whenever you purchase it. So at the grocery store, it won't become active until after you've purchased it. In terms of what the points will be able to be redeemed for, we were thinking that we could partner with with professional sports teams, and maybe do a partnership where we can give away certain merch from each sports team, and they'll be redeemable for a certain amount of points.
I'm a kid of the 90s, so we grew up with the codes on the bottom of the bottles. So maybe there's something you guys could have, like a code. When you scan it, you have to type in that code or something. But I also just wanted to comment, both of these flavors are incredible. I really, really enjoyed them, so great job.
One more round of applause for Next Horizon. Very good. Okay, so I'll give the judges a minute or two to tabulate your scores. The next team up is Forefront. You can make your way up here.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Amanda.
Nice to meet you.
Here's a
It's all yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. My name is Arise Ratain. I'm excited to bring to you our team, Team Forefront.
And I'm Jennifer Tidwell. We're honored to represent our team, which includes the two of us and our incredible advisors who supported us with ongoing feedback. We find ourselves in a crisis. Volunteerism across the U.S. has hit an all-time low. This leaves nonprofits in a severe shortage of much-needed support, especially here in Nevada, where fewer than 1 in 5 people are actively volunteering. We found that a lack of visibility and recognition is the root cause of this problem. We surveyed a number of people from different organizations and our community and found that over 80% of volunteers said that seeing their impact and being rewarded for it would inspire them to do more. We consider these issues and realize that there is a great opportunity here in Vegas to work with these sports teams and their resources. Think about all the unused sports assets, the unsold tickets and merchandise, and even the opportunity for fans to engage in volunteer opportunities alongside players. These untapped resources are a great incentive for volunteers to do more. This leads us to Fanthropy. It's an idea transforming passion into purpose. We developed Fanthropy as a purpose-driven platform that inspires our people to volunteer in their community while earning exciting rewards in return. Let us walk you through how it all comes together for the nonprofit, volunteer, and sports organization. Step 1, choose your team. Whether it's the Raiders, Knights, Aces, or Lights, the app personalizes your experience to your team colors and logo, so it customizes your pride, passion, and purpose. Step 2, be engaged. Volunteers will select a nonprofit and a cause that truly speaks to them, whether it's food insecurity, animal rescue, or neighborhood cleanups. This ensures their time and efforts really go towards something they genuinely care about, giving their impact meaningful and motivating. Step 3 is all about convenience. Fanthropy makes volunteering simple and easy. It offers a wide variety of time slots based on everybody's availability. This makes volunteering seem effortless. And step 4, attending and engaging. Volunteers will receive simple instructions from the nonprofit so they know exactly what's required. And step 5, this is where the excitement and the experience comes full circle as volunteers start earning points for all their contributions. These points can be redeemed for exclusive merchandise or discounted tickets or game day food, and even the opportunity to attend special events with their favorite players. It's not just about giving back. It's about creating an experience that gives back to them too. And to keep things exciting, we created a friendly competition through gamification. The leaderboard. This lets volunteers show how their contributions measure up with others.
Thank you, Jennifer. Now let's move into how the nonprofits see this. For nonprofits, we maximize the volunteer impact. We streamline reporting by giving instant access to key insights. With just a click of a button, nonprofits are able to generate customized automated reports that track volunteer demographics, diversity metrics, engagement levels, and other metrics that they may need to make informed, data-driven decisions with ease. Next, we enhance the volunteer experience with seamless self-registration and scheduling. Our user-friendly platform allows volunteers to find opportunities anytime, anywhere. Now, we also have a volunteer portal that allows volunteers to stay informed and educated on what's going on with simplified training and onboarding. Now, let's go on to how the sport teams see this. Sport teams are partners of the community. They're not just game day entertainment. And a lot of sports teams are trying to find out how to get more engaged in the community. And the best way to do just that is by giving back. Now, Fanthropy makes this a lot easier. We connect the teams, the fans, and causes that matter in the city. Now, we showcase this with our aggregated volunteer report that'll have impact data like how many fans are in their teams, how many volunteer hours they have, donations they've made, nonprofits they've supported, and as you can see here, a little chart of their top 5 nonprofits. We'll also have custom impact data like how many homes they've assisted, trees they've planted, meals they've prepared, and many other specific contributions. Now, to keep fans motivated, we have a top volunteer MVP list that'll let teams showcase the most dedicated supporters and give people a reason to rise to the top. This is a joint effort. Nonprofits gain more volunteers, more donations, and more awareness for their causes. Now, for the volunteers, they get easy volunteer opportunities, they help their community, and they get back and they get rewarded for their efforts. And now for the sport teams, they help the community, deepen their fan connections, expand their philanthropic outreach, and give back in ways that are meaningful and measurable. Now we're going to start our pilot program at UNLV, partnering with sport teams and students. Now, as you can already see, students like volunteering, but our platform will help them expand their Fanthropy. Now with Fanthropy, UNLV will expand the community engagement and engagement in sports beyond just attending the games. It'll build school spirit, and it will strengthen UNLV's top-tier 2.0 initiative. Now let's jump into how scalable Fanthropy truly is. In less than a year, we plan to finish our beta testing with UNLV. By year 1 and 2, we plan to have all of Las Vegas sport teams on the platform and over 60 different nonprofits. By year 5, we plan to expand to other states to expand our philanthropic outreach. And by year 10, we plan to partner with national sport leagues in order to expand our reward options and our brand credibility. Now, Fanthropy is operating on a self-sustaining business model. We'll be getting our funding from social impact investment funds, government grants, and also CSR programs. Additionally, we'll be implementing a 3% transaction fee for all transactions made through Fanthropy. And finally, we'll be partnering with sport teams, of course, which will help our growth and long-term sustainability. Now, these are our startup costs for the year. This is a financial overview totaling $58,500, allocated as follows. $26,000 for the app in development, which was quoted to us from the UNLV app development team, $20,000 for marketing, $2,500 for legal and compliance, and $10,000 for operational expenses. Now let's get into our market validation. As you can see, there's competitors, but Fanthropy stands out from the rest. Unlike competitors like Volunteer Hub that expect nonprofits that lack support to give the rewards, Fanthropy bridges this gap by partnering with sports teams to give exciting and tangible rewards. Now, we have a survey here that we use to conduct in the community, and it's how we were able to truly listen to the community and culminate Fanthropy. And here we have our working website, and if you can't scan it right now, you can look up fanthropy.info. It's already live, ready to launch, and has all the details for Fanthropy on there. Now, with Fanthropy, we're not just cheering for our favorite teams, we're cheering for the community. Let's turn passion into purpose together. Thank you, and we are now open to questions.
Great job and great presentation. So I heard you had a charity portion, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you think about potentially partnering with schools locally that might be interested in benefiting from these opportunities or something like that rather than through a specific charity, or are we focusing solely on charity aspects?
Can you repeat your question one more time? Because I remember you saying the school aspect. I just want to make sure I got your question
working
clear.
with elementary schools or high schools or schools where we're trying to get people involved, individuals involved, the community involved, and focusing on, because you have UNLV, which is our college, so I'm assuming you're also going to eventually branch out to the other schools that might have teams, but have you looked at partnering with schools to support their athletics?
Absolutely. I mean, our biggest thing that we are open to so many different community aspects. Our main goal is to help the community, and so partnering with schools would be a great aspect. Thank you.
No, I love the idea. And sitting as someone in a resort, it's like when you're offering up these opportunities, this would be something that from a resort side, if you're getting the community to engage this way and bringing in volunteers to help support community initiatives, it's even on a resort side, I'd want to give you guys things to put out there as rewards. So again, I do think that there's a scalable option outside of that. I love the fact that it's bringing everyone together. It's a centralized point. No, I just think you guys did a great job. Even going through this this was one of my favorite ones.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Thanks so much. I can tell you guys put a lot of research and thought into this. Or you ladies, I should say. I noticed on the rewards, the free ticket was bracketed with limited. And how would you manage that piece if you have a bunch of users who reached that top goal?
Of course. So it's just like any like Sephora, for instance, where they have the reward options. It's out of stock once it comes out of stock. So we partner with, of course, the sports teams and ask them what they're willing to have donate for our fans and our volunteers. And so we go based off of that. And so once it hits the limit, it'd be out of stock for till the sports teams say it's back in stock.
Thank you.
Thank you. Capturing everyone's attention up front is vital, and you caught my attention right away with the concept and the name, so hats off to you on that. And while I wear a community hat in the job that I have, and I'm really proud of it, it's always your hope that people want to volunteer because it's the right thing to do. But I think your concept introduces being of service and charity in an innovative way that once, if that incentivizes people to go, I guess this isn't a question, it's just a statement. If it incentivizes people to go and try it, I guarantee once they try it, they're going to get hooked and see the benefit of giving back. So I commend you for how you connect the dots there.
Thank you.
One more round of applause, please. Very well done. So judges, you have 2 minutes to work on your scoring. And in the interim, team Next Sledge, please come up and start getting ready.
Thank you guys. Good job. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do I get one of the mics? Here is your guys. Nice job.
So this is right and this is left?
Yeah, you can check. Don't start yet, though. Wait till I tell you to start.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are Team Next Sledge. Ever since the Vegas Golden Knights arrived in Las Vegas in 2017, ice hockey and skating have quickly become local favorite pastimes. However, one group remains excluded from this experience: individuals with disabilities. We're here to change that. We're redefining inclusive skating through innovative technology and community-driven programs to make sledge hockey more accessible, exciting, and for everyone. I'm Vaughn.
I'm Callie.
I'm Tony.
I'm Hayden.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Caesar.
And we are Next Sledge.
Our journey began with a simple idea: improving the sledge. Improving this device is important because I've experienced firsthand how sledge hockey can transform lives. It has helped me, sledge hockey has not only helped me regain my loss of function, but it has also helped me strengthen my confidence and sense of self. We sought to improve the device through interviewing my fellow teammates as well as testing out the device ourselves. It was then that we had discovered something big. We started to gain attention from those around us, and we started getting questions asked like, where can I get that and can I use one? That's when we realized, similar to how the ice skate is used in multiple sports today, the sledge has the potential to do the same thing. That is when our vision changed and shifted from redesigning the sledge to redefining what the sledge could do.
But before we can achieve that vision, we had two key challenges that we need to address. During interviews with Caesar's teammates, poor center of gravity and limited adjustability were key complaints found amongst regular sledge users. Additionally, financial barriers create an issue for new players eager to hit the ice. The second facet of our problem was perception. Sledge hockey is seen as an adaptive sport with only 0.04% of the total hockey population participating, and the skill of disabled athletes is often overlooked. And rinks in the Vegas area generally do not have sledges available for general use the way you might rent a pair of ice skates. So this led us to a two-faceted problem of we need to improve both the sledge from a cost standpoint, a comfort standpoint, and an adjustability standpoint, as well as launching new initiatives to motivate and inspire new players and bring more attention to the sport.
A new player will quickly realize that fine-tuning their sledge is the first big challenge. The process can be slow and frustrating with adjustments that are hard to get right. To solve this, we focused on simplifying the process and making adjustments more intuitive. We knew our sledge had to be a reflection of our top priorities, balance and adjustability. Our sledge will be built from a lightweight yet durable aluminum frame. It will introduce an innovative conforming seat that will adapt to fit a wider range of users, and a redesigned extended blade holder. Current blade holders allow for only horizontal movement of the blades. With this improved design, our sledge will be able to support both horizontal and forward manual adjustments, providing users with greater control of its customization. The accompanying first-of-its-kind app guides the users through the process by prompting them to enter their height and weight, then immediately calculates and displays the optimal blade position. Sensors placed within the sledge indicate whether the player is balanced or not. The system uses simple visual cues, a red light when the balance is off and a green light when it's correct. So players always know whether their sledge is properly adjusted. The app's intuitive interface offers users clean guidance, and the immediate feedback ensures a seamless experience. Our user-friendly application will make the introduction into this sport smoother, and it will improve the game for everyone. By simplifying the adjustment process and providing immediate feedback, users will be able to focus more on their performance rather than struggling with complex adjustments. This combination that offers enhanced customization will make programs like Learn to Sledge and our rental services both possible and scalable. We do have a prototype to show you all today. You'll be able to see it during our Q&A.
Before the rest of our solution, I want to emphasize a few key community partnerships that we've been working on. To start, the Vegas Golden Knights have offered us rink space and expressed interest in purchasing our sledges. We're also collaborating with their sledge hockey team to test our prototype and receive feedback. And if we succeed, they've offered potential support through using their name and likeness, giving us a major boost in visibility. Aside from sports, we're also collaborating with the Driven Neuro Recovery Center, who will play a large role in our outreach to disabled individuals. For manufacturing, we're working with Dan MFG, a local machine shop supporting our prototyping and CNC machining. With support from our partners, we're launching 2 key services to reframe how individuals experience sledge hockey. Firstly, our Learn to Sledge program introduces new players to the sport in an inclusive, welcoming environment. And secondly, our rental service makes sledges affordable and accessible at public rinks in Las Vegas. Imagine the impact. Everyone, regardless of their physical capabilities, gets to share the ice. And, just as importantly, we're removing cost as a barrier, so no one remains on the sidelines.
Now for our market validation. To prove interest in our product, we interviewed 54 people on the ice rink, and 50 of them said that they would be interested in trying the sledge. Many of them were excited about the novelty of the experience. However, a lot of them also cited discomfort in rental skates as a key reason for wanting to try an alternative. For our market analysis, we mainly want to target ice skaters who regularly experience difficulties. For example, the elderly may be more wary of falling while on the ice, so this would be a safe alternative for them. The equipment also caters to other interested athletes as well as already existing sledge hockey players. Now, currently, the market size is small, with only 0.04% of the hockey population being sledge hockey players. But this small number highlights a huge opportunity. Now imagine if 1/5 of existing hockey players were to start playing sledge hockey. This number increases and allows us, sledge hockey, to be introduced to new audiences. Similar to pickleball, with the right support, the sport has the potential to scale significantly to new markets, new athletes, and new fans.
Our go-to-market strategy combines both. Hello. I'm so sorry. Our go-to-market strategy combines both awareness building with direct engagement. For the marketing side, we're taking on a mixed approach, meeting potential players where they are, at rehab clinics, at hockey events, and even right on the ice. As for our sales strategy, we're leveraging our Learn to Sledge program as an on-ramp. It's designed to introduce new players in an approachable way to the sport and transition them onto local teams with the option to purchase our sledges at a discounted price. Our for-profit business model runs on 3 key revenue streams: the direct sales, and then recurring revenue from our Learn to Sledge program and our rental services. This is our projected annual revenue. And as part of our mission, we're going to donate 5% of our total net proceeds to the Vegas Golden Knights Foundation, helping them support our local community.
Here's how we take Next Sledge to a market and scale over time. During phase 1, we will have our MVP completed and launch the pilot program. During phase 2, we will launch the first iteration of Learn Sledge program and our rental service. From lesson learned, we expect to have a full operation. During phase 3, we will refine and scale our product in Las Vegas, servicing small ice rink. In the future, we will expand our product line to other sledge-based sports and to other locations. To make this all possible, the startup cost is estimated around 80 grand. While it's a big investment, we have the potential to generate 2 times the return while also delivering a strong community impact. Our model is built to scale, and this funding will set a great foundation.
Before we come to a close, I want to shift the spotlight to the people behind this project. Our team brings together mechanical, electrical, and computer engineering backgrounds with relevant hands-on experience. 2 of our team members are disabled athletes, with one of them being a first-place sledge hockey national champion. Yeah, go for it, Caesar. Vegas Golden Knights sledge hockey team, by the way. Not just that, their insight has shaped every decision that we've made. We're not just capable, we're committed. And we're not stopping here until we bring you the next sledge! Questions, guys, don't go. Questions. I'm opening the floor for questions.
So that was great. I had never heard of sledge hockey, and so this was new for me, and it was something that I wasn't aware of, and you know that newness is oftentimes like I don't understand, so it was really awesome. I do have a question about the survey that you did. So you have the 50. Can you talk a little bit about who they were, their demographics, a little bit about that information?
So in the beginning stages of our project, we went like week after week after week to the ice rinks with these sledges. So it was all about like seeing how the mechanics of the sledges were, and that's what led us to actually designing that prototype right over there. And as we were going through that, we got so many people like asking like, what is that? You know, like we're gonna get that, and can I use one? But, like right now, sledge companies, you know, they're really expensive, $800 plus. But with our rental services, $15. So it just really lowers that barrier to get into the sport in the first place. And not just that, it's catered not only to disabled people, but it's for everyone now because of that prototype that we've created. Not just that. Sure.
We also did a quick field trip to Driven Recovery Center, which was really great. We got to see basically how disabled people, like how they're able to work out and get more involved. And while we were there, we talked to a few of the people and the people who run the center about our product and if they would be interested in it. And a lot of them said that they were, so that was also great. That was a really great experience.
I have a question. Great presentation, really interesting idea. Have you thought about children? You know, often we play the sports we grow up with, and wondering about getting, you know, elementary school-age kids into this. And the second question, ice time. I know ice time can be challenging.
Absolutely. So with the Vegas Golden Knights, they have this foundation, was it the Golden Chariots? Vegas Golden Knights Chariots, and that's a youth sports for the sledge hockey team. And so we're basically supporting them by also introducing through kids. So we have 2 models that we're proposing. One would be also a tandem sledge, so that if you're a parent, you know, you don't want your kid to be going around, you might worry that your kid is going to be on the floor and they fall down and their fingers get sliced off. With a tandem sledge, it's a lot safer, you know, it's just both of them at the same one. Yeah. Do you want to comment more about Golden Chariots, Caesar?
Yeah, there's already an established team for a youth team. We're definitely working closely related to the adults and then the youth team, but we definitely want to focus on how we could get the kids more involved because this seems like an outlet for maybe kids just don't have the best of balance to skate. I see a lot of parents buying all this expensive equipment for their future star player that, you know, isn't as coordinated. that's a pretty good option, I'd say, to get their confidence started off, built up, and then slowly transition it to stand-up hockey if they want to do that. But our main goal is to shift the perspective of this device being an adapted device to an option, like an ice skate.
Great presentation, and I just want to, this is more of just leaning in on the impact that you feel that this is going to have, not just physically, but the impact this will have emotionally and socially.
So, what was your question exactly? Can you?
Just you talk about your impact.
Oh, I guess our main vision is definitely to, stand-up hockey is pretty difficult to play to begin with, even if you're completely able to walk. Your ability to stand on two really thin blades is kind of difficult. So our goal is to kind of make it an option to not feel so left out, because of there's not really an advertisement of sleds out there for disabled people to use or injured. Let's say you have a bad knee at the moment or something. So our main goal is definitely to try to make it more mainstream for that reason, that you don't have to be a star athlete. You don't have to be a super coordinated runner, able-bodied person. It's completely open to any abilities and not to be seen as just a disabled device.
Yes.
One more round of applause for next sledge. There you go.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, judges, you have a couple of minutes.
Yes. Do you want to see it?
And team on us, if you would make your way up here. Team on us, come on up.
Hello, we are Team On Us. I'm Adam Merriweather.
I'm Kylie Whitehead. I'm Sydney Merriweather. So, Las Vegas was once only known for the glitz, glamour, and casinos, but we are quickly transforming into the sports capital of the world. From the arrival of the Vegas Golden Knights, the relocation of the Las Vegas Raiders, back-to-back championships from the Aces, and Formula One returning to the Las Vegas Strip, we really are proving to be a sports city. Unlike many other U.S. cities, Las Vegas allows for open containers of alcohol on the Strip. This makes public drinking a common sight. Casinos, bars, and nightclubs serve alcohol around the clock, giving us the name Sin City. Now, Nevada law classifies a person's first DUI as a misdemeanor, whereas states like Arizona, Tennessee, and Georgia have automatic jail time for a person's first DUI. These states typically will see about 20% of all DUI arrests are reoffenders, where in Nevada we see about 1/3 of all DUI arrests are reoffenders. When it comes to live sporting events, though, the drinks are definitely flowing. Let's break down some numbers. Over half of fans enjoy a drink at a game, consuming an average of 3.7 drinks per game, and that is more than when they watch at home. But fans don't just drink to celebrate, they're gonna drink no matter what. 34% drink more when their team is losing, where 31% drink more when their team is winning. But we want to talk about one of the biggest concerns surrounding live sporting events, intoxicated driving. Nearly 1 in 5 fans admitted to getting behind the wheel after drinking at a sporting event. At Allegiant Stadium, that translates to roughly 12,675 fans per game, an alarming number. And in a research study on the association between drinking and alcohol-related arrests on college football game days, it found that it was 9 times more common to have a drinking-related arrest on a college game day than on a holiday. It is critical that fans, teams, and venues work together to address this issue because a great game should never end in a tragedy.
From 2018 to 2023, there were 318 deaths, 10,387 injuries, and 12,947 accidents caused by drunk driving in and around Las Vegas. These statistics aren't just numbers, these are people, members of our community, tourists, families that are mourning. Drunk driving can affect anyone, anywhere, at any time. Just a quick question by a show of hands, how many of you have been affected by drunk driving in some capacity? Even if you didn't raise your hands, you may have noticed that the three of us have, and that's because for us, drunk driving is a personal issue. If you remember the map that we just showed you, we've zoomed in on one that has greatly impacted our lives. We've seen firsthand the ripples that a drunk driver can cause. On May 22nd, 2019, Garrett Merriweather, Adam and I's brother, Kylie's dear friend, was killed by a drunk driver. He had just finished up his freshman year here at UNLV in the hospitality program with lifelong dreams of opening up a hotel right here on this strip. He now serves as inspiration for this project. So what can we do? What's the solution? How can professional sports and we work together to better combat this problem?
On Us, Nevada's game day designated driver. The On Us app lets Las Vegas live sports fans get free rideshare rides home if they've had a drink at a game. Let's see what the setup of the app is going to look like for the user. First, we're going to need some basic information like name, date of birth, and a picture of their photo ID to confirm that they are over the age of 21, and then we will also ask for their location to ensure that they are in the event arena. Next, we're going to have the user link their preferred payment method and their preferred rideshare service. Now, the user is going to be prompted to add their On Us digital card to their phone's digital wallet. This is what they'll use on game day. Let's see what that process looks like. Game day use is easy as 1, 2, 3. First, fans are going to purchase their favorite alcoholic beverage using their On Us digital card. Second, enjoy the drink and enjoy the game. While the fan is having a good time, the On Us app will receive an itemized receipt from the POS system within the event arena. This will be used to confirm that an alcoholic beverage has been purchased, and their location will be checked to ensure that they are in fact in the event arena. And now third, after they have purchased the alcohol, they will be sent their voucher code. The fan can then copy and paste their code into their rideshare app to get a free, safe ride home. Now, where do pro sports teams come into play? First and foremost, financial assistance. A portion of the team's concession sales will be allocated towards On Us to pay for these rideshare voucher codes. For example, Allegiant Stadium makes about $60 million annually in food and beverage sales. Let's say there's about 30 events per year, that's $2 million per event. And let's say only about half of that actually goes to the team. That's $1 million per game in food and beverage sales. And if we estimated about 10,000 On Us users got a ride home, with the average Uber ride being $20, that's $200,000 of that $1 million being allocated to On Us. Now, to teams, that might seem scary at first, because that's a lot of money. However, if fans know that they are getting a free ride home, then they are more than likely to purchase even more beverages, therefore paying for the rides themselves or even increasing revenue for the teams. And secondly, promotion. The On Us app will not succeed unless we create a full collaboration with the teams and they promote to their fans before the game, during timeouts, on social media, or any other way to make smarter decisions. Moving forward, what we'll need to do is fund anywhere between $20,000 to $50,000. We plan on being a nonprofit, so this can be done through crowdsourcing, the President's Innovation Challenge, or any other charitable donations. This funding will be used for app development, testing, debugging, and deployment, as well as licensing and any other startup fees. Our timeline after the President's Innovation Challenge, in 6 months, we see the app still under development and testing. In 1 year, we see partnership with one team, but with limitations. And then in 5 years, we see a full partnership with every team in Las Vegas. We have confidence in our mission, which is saving lives one ride at a time. This is built on a very prominent issue that is both big at the local and national levels, but we have created a first-of-its-kind solution with no market competition. Game day drinks on you, game day ride home on us.
Hi, guys. I really love this concept of making sure that we're making our roads safer. I'm sorry for your loss, and I'm glad that you're using his memory to do something really impactful. I wanted to ask, have you guys thought about, instead of an app, possibly white labeling this to work with a ticket servicing like AXS or Ticketmaster and see if it's all built in, because then you know they have the ticket, they're there, their credit card is in. Have you thought about maybe doing a white labeling to meet more people where they're at?
Yep, so one of the ways we did think also is you get a voucher, a physical voucher, when you purchase a drink at the arena. So that's another way we could, I guess, white label it in one way or another.
Yeah, I love this idea. Also, what about the idea of just using it as a coupon rather than having it free? I think the economics of the free ride might be difficult because the drink might be cheaper than the Uber. But if you gave people a discount, like every time they bought a drink, you get a certain amount of discount off of your Uber ride or Lyft. Have you thought about that idea?
Yep, so in our 1 year plan, that's where we talked about with limitations. So we could obviously start with just a half price Uber ride or something that is a discounted ride to see how it works economically first, and then expand if we are able to do a full free Uber ride.
Great job. You guys did a great job with the emotional part, you know, thinking about how to capture our hearts. And so keep doing that. That's very, very important. I had a question, just thinking about the next steps. One of the things that's difficult from that process is then getting your car home. Any thoughts about after this, like how having somebody drive that car back, or because if not, you have to take an Uber there that you pay for, and then you get it free. But then if you drive your car there, so just thoughts about that.
Yep, so we are planning, of course, for fans to mostly use it when they're Ubering there themselves, or we have the RTC buses that take to a lot of games here. We aren't necessarily relying on fans driving there. However, of course, this is a last resort that can save a life. So I'd rather you take this Uber ride now than try and drive home and then end a life.
Seeing no more questions, one more round of applause for On Us.
So to my judges, one quick note. You have to rank the teams into 3 subcategories as well, which are community partnership, social impact, and technology innovation. And one team can't win all 3. There's also a grand prize, but a team can win a subcategory and the grand prize. I hope that's clear as mud. You should have on your app the ranking.
Introduce the winners. Give them 5 minutes.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, audience, you have 5 minutes if you need to get a bite to eat or a drink, and then we'll come back and announce the winners. So, see you in 5.
Test.
Hello, hello. All right, everybody. Let's take a seat. We have our winners.
All right, now is the news you've all been waiting for. I've got to tell you a quick story. So during the summer, I write the problem statement. And this time of the event is always like the best part, because it's like, did they get the answer? Because I didn't know the answer. I wrote the problem statement based on the things that we've done in the past and what I see in the industry and other competitions and what's happening in the city. And I think they did a fantastic job. So let's have one more round of applause for our contestants. So let's get with giving away some money. So the team that won the prize for community partnership, Forefront. Come on up. Congratulations. The team that won the category for social impact, Next Horizon. Congratulations. The team that won the category for technological innovation, Next Sledge. I don't have a drum. Congratulations. And I know you're waiting for this. The overall grand prize winner for the 4th Annual President's Innovation Challenge, Forefront.
Hey, Team Forefront, congratulations. Can you stay up here for one more moment? So I'm Lori with Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix, and we were so proud to support this great innovation challenge. So congratulations to everyone. But you guys went over and beyond, and it would be our pleasure if you, as the winning team, would join us at this year's Las Vegas Grand Prix as our guests. Congratulations. Congratulations. So you and a guest and your advisor will be joining us at this year's race for 3 great days of racing. So congratulations again.
All right, everybody, that wraps up our 4th annual President's Innovation Challenge. One last round of applause for everybody who made today possible. Our judges, our sponsors, our competitors, their mentors, thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of the reception.